the courthouse. All rise for the Honorable Judge, Hannah Campbell.
Ladies and gentlemen, you may all be seated. Court is now in session. Today, we are going to talk about Annie's actions over 2 years and got arrested 2 weeks ago. Prosecutor Ben Kiles. Read the charges.
Yes, Your Honor. Annie Thompson. You have been charged for child abuse, child neglect, and child abandonment.
Do you plead yourself guilty or not guilty?
I plead myself not guilty, Your Honor. 2 years ago, I was only disciplining my 2 twins. And the chores I give them is their only option.
Oh really? I think I should hear what your husband says about this. But there are a few witnesses that they want to say about your actions. The first witness I'm going to call is Tom Martin. Come on up.
Chris and Brandon's mother should be ashamed of herself for abusing the Thompson twins. And also she should be no better than that. Chris and Brandon never deserved to get abuse. And I mean never. So after everything she did to their sons, I say she's guilty.
Excuse me. But you will not plead myself guilty. Abuse is for disciplining only.
Yes. Disciplining is a good thing. But you can't abuse your sons. You abusive monster.
Hey. Who are you calling an abusive monster? I will spank you so hard that you are going to bleed.
Order in the court. Order in the court. Tom and Annie, that's enough fighting. Order. Order. Annie. Abuse is a serious crime. And besides, your objection is overruled. As for you, Tom, your objection is sustained. But I have to give you a warning, including the witnesses. No name calling in the courthouse. Understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. The next witness I'm going to call is Luna Smith.
I was shocked and stunned to hear about Chris and Brandon's behavior. She is the reason behind this. And the way she treated her sons is absolutely unacceptable. Therefore, I say she's guilty.
Thank you, Luna. The next witness I'm going to call is Alyssa Davis.
You know something, Annie? Where we come from, like child abusers, like you, we used to whoop your asses. Which I would not do in this courthouse. Just for that, I seriously hope you rot in prison. I say you're guilty. Big time. Stay away from Chris and Brendan. And stay away from my babe Tom. And my little sister.
Thank you, Alyssa. The next witness I'm going to call is Steve Johnson.
I was stunned too. What you did to Chris and Brandon is uncalled for. You even force your husband Trevor to disown Chris and Brandon. Unbelievable. So after everything you did, I say you're guilty.
Thank you, Steve. The next witness I'm going to call is Jennifer Holmes.
So not only did she abuse one of them kids for 2 years, she forced them to do hard chores like mopping the floor. Chris and Brandon don't deserve any of it coming from her. Therefore, I say she's guilty.
Thank you, Jennifer. The next witness I'm going to call is Linda Gallagher.
Annie, you disgust me, you know that? The way you treated your sons is unacceptable. When Chris and Brandon are almost trying to shoot us, Charlotte and Stephanie stop them just in time. But you failed to raise them. Not gonna lie. So after what you did to Chris and Brandon, I say you're guilty.
Thank you, Linda. The next witness I'm going to call is Axel Waddell.
I agree with Linda. And you even force your husband to disown Chris and Brandon. That's child abandonment. Your husband doesn't even want to do such a thing. In simple words, I seriously hope you rot in hell. I say you're guilty.
Thank you, Axel. The next witness I'm going to call is Henry Allard.
Mother Thompson should be ashamed of herself. Yes, Tom is right. Disciplining is a good thing. But abusing, neglect, and abandonment is not an option. You could have helped them, like take them to therapists. But you failed it permanently. Therefore, I say she's guilty.
Thank you, Henry. The next witness I'm going to call is Martha Gorser.
Annie is nothing but a child-abusing piece of shit. Child abuse gives me nightmares, including Chris and Brandon. She even forces them to do hard chores that they can't do, Like, dude, that's not how mothers work. You just have to treat them so badly that they cause trouble. I'm so ashamed of you right now. Therefore, I say she's guilty.
Thank you, Martha. The next witness I'm going to call is Rita Kaiser.
You know, Annie? You remind me of my mother abused me. But it was only the one time. She never wanted to spank me with her belt, but she has no choice. But you, on the other hand, you abused Chris and Brandon on 24/7. Therefore, I say you're guilty.
Thank you, Rita. And I'm giving your mother a warning. If she abuses you even more, she'll be arrested just like Annie. Understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Good. The next witness I'm going to call is Vicky Robinson.
Annie is a monster. She treated Chris and Brandon so badly. I have no words coming from her. But I will say she is guilty as charged.
Thank you, Vicky. The next witness I'm going to call is Stuart Langston.
Annie is like a psycho Karen. She abused Chris and Brandon 24/7. And the hard chores they give them are very difficult. They're not ready for it. And I mean, they are never ready. Therefore, I say she's guilty.
Thank you, Stuart. The next witness I'm going to call is Charlotte Schubert.
From what me and Stephanie heard about Chris and Brandon's actions, it was you behind this. Chris and Brandon don't deserve to get abused or any of it. Therefore, I say she's guilty.
Thank you, Charlotte. The next witness I'm going to call is Stephanie Hayes.
Wow. Just wow. Just when Charlotte and I found out the truth to Chris and Brandon's behavior, it was you the whole time. We regret confronting them so hard when they tried to shoot Linda and Axel. But you, on the other hand, you don't seem to care about any of it, except yourself. I hope you get good consequences about your actions. Therefore, I say you're guilty.
Thank you, Stephanie. The next witness I'm going to call is Trevor Thompson.
She has gone too far on Chris and Brandon. Ever since I married her for 2 years, I never thought she would go this far. They said that she has been abusing my kids on 24/7. And she forced them to do some hard chores that they can't do. For that, I say Annie is guilty, and I want to file her for a divorce.
Thank you, Trevor. And you can file your wife for a divorce. The trial is done.
Thanks, Your Honor.
Why, you little...
No. Annie, stand down. If you say another word, or you trying to abuse your ex-husband, then you will be held in contempt. And to end today's testimony, I called upon the last 2 main victims of the crime to come up to the stand. Chris and Brandon Thompson.
Well, Mom. Or should we say, Annie? Looks like you got yourself in lots of issues. You have been abusing us on 24/7. And after 2 years, you are giving us some hard chores like mopping the floor.
And thanks to you, you got us into lots of trouble in our school, or in public. Therefore, me and my twin brother say you're guilty. Stay away from us.
Thank you, Chris and Brandon. Well, Annie, based on today's testimony, you are being found guilty of all charges. Therefore, you'll be sentenced to jail for 24 years and you will be forced to sign the divorce papers. And your soon-to-be ex-husband will have full custody of the twins. Officer Brenda, take her away.
Yes, Your Honor.
Come
I'll
on,
get you
ma'am.
next time,
It's
Chris
jail
and
for you.
Brandon. Come on.
Good riddance.
And we'll hope we'll never see you again.